There is this sense of moving away from the black and white, the right, the wrong, the good, the bad, into a world or a place where we can start to ask and dialogue and have conversation, not to be convinced by the other, but at least to be exposed to or experience the other.
I like your emphasis right there on experience, not just of the other, but what you called before a praxis or practice. You know, I know the word belief is one of those loaded words inside of Christianity, but I'm convinced that if we could emphasize practice-based Christianity more than belief systems really ask nothing of you. You just say, oh yeah, I believe that, I believe that, I believe that. And we've had almost no effect on the formation of Western culture. Just these group of people who believe things. But it hasn't led to practice. And there, you move beyond believing things to you start knowing things. You know things for yourself, what's real and what's unreal. So, you know, now this will appeal to Catholics because we had such an emphasis upon sacraments, rosaries, contemplative prayer. So I've got a certain foot in the door with Catholics. They know, they were taught this, that practices are important, not just believing doctrines, even though a large percentage of Catholics get very trapped in believing doctrines.
Well, and even the idea of the issues of social justice and others.
That's right.
Even if you believe and not act, it doesn't, infiltrate. But then the other is, even if you don't have the belief, but you do it, and you experience, and you are the hands and feet of Christ in a real world, doesn't it transform some of the ways in which we believe?
You know, in our church, I guess most of the mainline churches, the gospel yesterday was Matthew 25, where it's the only time in the scriptures where something is enumerated 4 times in a row. When did we see you hungry? When did we see you thirsty? And this is always saved for the last Sunday of the church year, almost the exclamation point at the end of the year, Matthew 25, and talk about praxis. It's not belief systems, and he's saying this is what we're going to be judged on. Not what did we believe, but what did we do? So I'm so grateful that I'm seeing this emerging in all of our churches, which is why we're calling it the emergent church. That no one's directing it. It's almost like there's an evolution of spiritual consciousness that suddenly we can all see it. It's wonderful, really.